Welcome to the Toucan Talks podcast, where we bounce from topic to topic with our guests to give you an inside look at their life as a business owner. No question is off limits as we talk about what has led to the successes, the challenges, and more.
And this podcast is brought to you by Kickstart Studios. Kickstart Studios is Wilmington's newest video podcast studio. Equipped with multiple camera angles and an in-house producer, creating a high-quality video podcast has never been easier. Don't let the tech and gear learning curve hold you back from jumping into podcasting or created video content any longer. Our team takes care of it all for you so you can focus on the message you want to share. You simply show up, record, and receive the final product. No more wasting time setting it up and breaking down the gear, setting up lights, or doing sound checks on your own. Our in-house producer will have everything set up and ready to go for you. So check us out at Kickstart Studios.
Welcome to this episode of Toucan Talks. Today we have Buffy Andrews from Madewell Center of Wholeness here in Wilmington. You guys are, full service of wellness. I don't know. I feel like counseling, therapy, nutrition,
we have gut health, health coaches. We do women's retreats every year. We have get well gatherings every month that are just educational. So lots of cool things just to learn about mental health and wellness all around.
Cool.
So
I love it. I'm super excited today to chat with you about being multi-passionate, an entrepreneur. And I feel like a lot of, obviously, the things that you do and love have tied in well to one business, which is cool. So we'll have some general questions, we'll have some questions about that. We'll have some random fun questions in this lovely can.
I'm very nervous about that, honestly.
So what we have like a set of generic questions, for not generic, but questions that everyone gets for each can, and then we do throw in a few specific to each person. So we'll see what happens.
Alrighty.
Basically you will drop a coin. If it lands on a 1, that is the more business questions. The 2 is the random questions.
Oh, okay.
So, basically before we get started though, I guess we talked a little bit about what the business does, but is there anything else people should know before we jump in? Or
I guess like now I'm entering in a new phase of life. I have a kid now. So I'm like kind of learning to juggle kid, business, wellness, trainings, like all the things.
Yeah.
So it's, kind of still multi-passionate. lots of passions kind of combining into one. But it's exciting. And our business is growing and we have a lot of clinicians now. So it's great to be able to serve Wilmington in this way for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Well, let's just jump right in and we'll
Am I supposed to
see where it goes. Yeah. You can
I just drop it wherever
you want.
Okay.
It's a Wild West on this board.
Wow. So fun. One.
Right.
So that's okay. Get to it.
Yeah. We're diving right in.
Straight to the biz.
Yes. We really are just diving right into this. What has been your biggest challenge? Man,
out the gate.
We're not.
Okay.
We're not warming up this audience or you for this interview.
Sorry, everyone. No, gosh, biggest challenge in the business.
Yeah, maybe to make it easier because that is a big question. Maybe let's go in terms of like having multiple passions.
Okay.
Yes. And like,
Okay. So I would say probably the biggest challenge with having multiple passions is trying to figure out how to do them all and still make money.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first started Madewell, I was teaching a lot of yoga classes and things like that because I loved that. I was doing intensive in-home services. So it's like a more kind of crisis intervention therapy. And I loved the yoga piece. And I was like, if I could just do workshops in yoga all the time, that would be wonderful. But I quickly realized that those weren't making money the way that I needed to make money, right? So I think the trick with being multi-passionate is definitely learning where is your biggest revenue stream kind of coming from? And then how do you foster that? How do you grow that piece and then still have the time to do the other things? Because I don't actually need to make a ton of money teaching yoga. Yeah. I just need to have time to do the thing I love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's cool.
I don't have to do it for 5 classes a day, every day a week. You know, I just need to have time during the week that I do it, and that fills my bucket kind of deal. So I think probably the biggest challenge was, kind of figuring that out maybe.
Yeah. Figuring out the business, the making money, business
the revenue,
and still doing,
where's the revenue coming from, and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like that's good, even if it's not, even if you're not multi-passionate, but you have like a lot of
parts of your services.
Exactly. Figuring out like, okay, what do we need to hone in on?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Great.
Do you do one of these things and I get to ask you a question?
Absolutely not.
Dang
I'm just kidding. You can ask me whatever you want.
Okay. Oh, another business. We're
Straight
just down to business today.
All right. Okay. Well, speaking of multi-passionate, I didn't even ask you if you wanted to talk about the wellness buff side of your business.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
How does that come into play just in your life and business?
What I'm doing
and
now? So I guess
separate from
first I would
Madewell
need to explain what it is. So first, wellness buff is me. I'm the wellness buff.
Yes, you are.
I just thought it was a clever title. I'm into wellness. My name's Buffy. It just worked. But I would say the wellness buff piece is kind of more my personal branded side of the business. Because I've grown Madewell Center now to having, 10 clinicians and practitioners. And so they're all kind of doing their thing. Cool. And I'm doing a lot of the running of the business, right? And so I don't have as much time to do one-on-one stuff with clients. Yeah. It's harder to fit those people in every week. So Wellness Buff kind of was born, and that for me is my opportunity to do the things I love a little bit more of. I get to do the wellness retreats, and I get to do healing intensives, which I can explain more about that later. But, getting to do those aspects of the business and not worry so much about the one-on-one constantly all week long. Because for me, that's exhausting now, because not only was I doing one-on-one with clients, but I was doing one-on-one with clinicians and helping them make sure that their client load is good, and doing one-on-one meetings with people in the community and those kinds of things. And so Wellness Buff is kind of my way of, speaking to the world, I guess, of different things that I love, being able to do kind of deep dives with people and educate people more, because I love the educational side of it. I love speaking. I love, being with people and making things simple for them. So that's just how I get to kind of fuse it all together, I guess. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Do you feel like on the Madewell side, because when did you start Madewell?
Madewell, I started it officially in, if we want to go, when did my LLC get created? 2017.
Okay, sweet.
But I didn't, that was me doing the yoga, the workshops and that kind of thing. And I didn't really start the counseling deep dive kind of piece until 2019.
Okay.
Because I started in 2018 when Florence hit. I actually was kind of forced into like private practice realm a little bit, because I was already working part-time at my other job. And when Florence hit, I was not able to get paid because I was in schools in Pender County. And Pender County schools were closed for months. And so I was like, hubby, I know we just got married, but can I quit my job and pursue, private practice world? And so I did. And when I opened up my schedule, I think just me being so plugged into the community, I was able to get a lot of referrals really quickly. Yeah. And then that, just boosted my confidence for doing it on my own, because I was working at another practice at the time. Gotcha. And so I think that just boosted my confidence for doing it on my own. And so spring of 2019, I was just blessed with a lady who, she was a therapist, but like she was very well off. Yeah. And so she rented her office space to me for really cheap. Nice. So I was able to have low overhead, you know, and kind of trickle into that realm. But it just kept growing from there. That's awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. Do you feel like you're, which I feel like you sort of touched on this, but like you're definitely more on the Madewell side, like running the business side of it versus in like, the weeds of, no, I don't want to say the weeds of like client work, but
sure. Well,
I call
weeds,
it, for us, I call it, well, with me, it's very, I can just like client work because but I don't know terminology of that.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm definitely more on the business side of it now. I only have room in my schedule, especially coming back from maternity leave and everything. Yeah. I really only have room in my schedule for like 7 one-on-one clients a week. Gotcha. And then I have to spend the rest of the time just like managing everything, like, admin asking me questions and being able to answer those questions and also do website stuff with you guys, I mean, the pay bills, all the things. And it's like, people don't realize that there's so much of that really goes into running your own business. Yeah. And so I'm sure people probably are like, you don't see hardly any people in a week. Doing? And like, you're just getting a free ride over here. And it's like, no, I'm just like making it work.
That's what, we had Rebecca McAfee from Beauty Lab on, and that's what she was like. She'll do some of her like business work at home, and people will ask her like, what do you mean you're working from home? Like, you're a trainer. And she was like, yeah, but I also own and run this business.
I got to communicate with people. I mean,
it's like a whole nother
communication with people. It takes so much.
Yes. The work and the job, and then the running the business side of things, which is fun, but it's it's 2 jobs.
Yeah. It truly is. There's so many hats.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet. All right. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try on this side. Maybe we'll get a 2.
Yeah.
Oh, we got one.
Let's see. It's always a fun time. Sometimes like there'll be ones that we haven't gotten in a while, and I'll be like, I forgot that was in there.
I'm nervous, honestly, about the 2. Then ones are easy.
Yeah. All right. What is your spiciest opinion that most people disagree with? And I will disclaimer this with 2 things. 1, this is on the internet. 2, it doesn't have to be business related. It could be anything.
Yeah. Spiciest opinion. I definitely have some opinions about mental health realm of life.
Yeah.
How do I phrase this in an opinion like sentence? Maybe my spiciest opinion is that maybe this is one.
Okay.
Primary care providers should not prescribe antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications without meeting with someone more than 1 time.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair.
Very fair, but doesn't happen.
Interesting.
People are just like, oh, you have anxiety? Boop, here's some medication. And I'm like, you don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know them. You sat with them for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So why are you just off the gate, giving them the meds right away? I'm not saying meds are a bad thing.
Right.
But like, you should meet with somebody more than 15 minutes for them to truly determine, is it a chemical situation that you're needing addressed? Or is this like, wow, your life is really a hot mess. Yeah. Like, let's work on that. Yeah. Before giving you some medications, because we don't need to just, slap a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
So
that
might be a spicy one.
Yeah.
For some. I don't know.
I feel like for your industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I like it.
Right. All right. Let's see here. Oh, okay.
Yep.
That happened.
Yep. That might happen some more. You never know.
All right. Let me go one over.
That's why,
same one.
I think that's why the investment boards have the plexiglass.
So they don't jump
They're
out
not dangerous. They don't hurt your podcast guest.
That's funny.
Alrighty. So how did you get into your current line of work?
Oh, that's actually a kind of an interesting story. I feel like, because I would say that a lot of people that enter into therapy realm of life probably did so because they either went to therapy a lot as a kid and they like really benefited from it, or they had some sort of traumatic event themselves, or, something like that kind of is like, oh, I want to help the people the way I was helped. Right. I never had that experience because like my parents don't really believe in therapy, which is terrible because I'm a therapist, but
that's hilarious.
Right. So I would say I've always loved helping people though. And I, as a kid thought, oh, maybe I'll work for a nonprofit or something like that. And then when I graduated college, I moved here to Wilmington. Didn't have a plan. I actually studied film and media production and all this stuff. Worked for a couple nonprofits and just, did my thing with them. But basically, I was also working at like a barbecue joint, nannying these little hellions, and was like, there's got to be more to life than this, And so I started looking at big girl jobs online, Googling, and pretty much everything that I thought I would be really good at or that I wanted to do said I needed a social work degree. Gotcha. And I didn't have that. Yeah. So I was like, dang it, I have to go back to school. Yeah. Like, this sucks. I don't want to do that. So I applied at UNCW and ECU and UNC Charlotte, and I got into ECU right away. And I was like, Lord, please do not send me back to Greenville. I do not want to go back there.
Yeah.
And then I got waitlisted at Charlotte, and then I just waited, and I finally got into UNCW.
Because you said you were living here then.
Yes, I was living here. I was like, I just moved here. I don't want to move back, you know. So basically applied for school, got in, literally didn't have time to study for the GRE. You know, none of the things that you should do if you really want to go get your master's in something. I was like, Lord, just let me get the minimum score that I need. And I got it by 2 points.
Okay. Hey, answer.
So yeah, got into school, still didn't know what I wanted to do, but basically in school we had to do these practicum internship things, and I would shadow therapists. And I really was like, wow, this is cool. Like I can do this. I can sit with people. I love hearing people's stories. I love kind of diving deep with people. And so from there, it just kind of, you know, I entered into that realm. And then as I was in that realm with the high crisis, you know, management type stuff, I was really realizing there was a lot of education that was missing for people, kind of practical daily living things that people just weren't doing to feel better, right? And so in my mind, I was thinking, how can I do what I love? How can I do therapy, but in a way that's not really dictated by all the red tape or, you know, it doesn't have to follow these certain guidelines. And so from there, it honestly just kind of grew. I was like, let me just create my own thing, create my own path. I've always been a little bit like that of like, if something's not working, I'm not going to just wait around for someone else to figure it out. I'm going to make it work for me. Yeah. And so that's just kind of how it happened, I guess. Yeah. Total God thing, honestly.
Made it happen.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Cool. Love it.
All right. How many of these? Is this the last one?
Yeah. And then we'll reload or we'll do another round. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So this happened before, and we're like, we need to create a thing that if this happens,
like
either
a consequence.
No, for us.
Oh,
of our $20 target board.
Yeah.
So you either get to ask me a question, or there's a stack of cards on the shelf. I don't know. Do I need to talk to the mic? Up in the yellow stack of like random stupid stuff.
Ooh.
Some of them
do?
Yeah, some of them are like you have to talk in hashtags the whole time. So
for both of us?
No. Oh. That you would give me. It's a punishment for me. Or you can just ask me a random question. Whatever you want to do.
Let's hear. These are interesting.
They're almost like Cards Against Humanity style like things.
Yeah.
Of like just dumb.
Okay. Ooh, I'm just going to ask you this.
Okay.
What is your next big thing?
My next big
thing. It could be job related. It could be life related.
Good one.
Secret that probably no one knows.
That I'm definitely going to tell on this podcast. Next big thing. Gonna do more game show podcast. No. I don't know. I feel like we launched this, so that I feel like was like a check off the box.
Current big thing.
Current big thing. Not work related. Luke and our anniversary is coming up.
Ooh.
And we're trying to figure out where to go.
How many years?
12.
Hey, that's a big number.
It is a big number, but it's like it's not like 10.
Hey, but it doesn't matter. 12 is big. That's up there.
Gosh,
12 years. Wow.
Yeah, we were children. I was literally.
We were children.
I was 20.
Oh wow.
You were a child.
You were a small baby.
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing. Are you guys looking to do like out of the country or
okay? We were talking Portugal maybe, or then like yesterday like maybe like Italy or basically
Spain,
where there's like wine and food. That would be fun.
Listen, you know
for us.
who you should go talk to.
Who?
There's a new Spanish market in town on Castle Street called La Mar Salada.
Ooh.
And the guy is from Spain. The wife is from Mexico.
Okay.
Victor, he's from Spain.
Okay.
España. But he like could tell you so many fun things about Spain.
Okay.
I'm sure because he's only been, over here for a little while. I don't know how long.
Yeah.
But you could talk to him. That might be a good
to know.
get you some culture on the ground kind of stuff,
That's
so
a good tip.
plug for La Mar Salada.
Talk about Spain.
They have a paella making class, which you should also
I saw
do.
that on your Instagram. Yeah. We need to. Was that fun?
Yes, it was. It was really fun.
They
were great.
Luke
Super
would
fun
love that.
people, down to earth, salt of the earth. You know,
Okay.
you should have them on your podcast.
Yeah, we totally should.
Yeah.
And then eat some food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Done. Done and done.
Cool.
So yeah,
there you go.
Going on vacation and not like move somewhere.
Yeah.
Actually go on a vacation.
You don't have to like pick up everything to be there.
Yeah.
Just like
just
pack
take a
one bag.
Yeah. Be good. Yeah. Cause you're like, where's somewhere that we don't like, we wouldn't be like, oh shoot, this would have been fun for the kids. Like something that like,
right.
Cause like South Africa could be cool, but that I feel like would be cool when like they're a little bit older and could go. So
yeah. Cool.
Maybe, hopefully it happens. If not, this was a bummer of a question.
Well, now it just has to happen. So.
Yeah. Yes, I said it.
Just
you can
grab it?
just push it to the side. You can drop it again. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Pie
2.
day.
There we go.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like truth or dare and like really
there are
weird
some dares.
questions.
Yeah, there are some. That's not wrong. Okay, so I joke sometimes that we are a marketing agency, but like I'll forget. I'll like work on a page on our website and then I'll like forget to update it, or like our LinkedIn will disconnect from our social scheduler. It's like sometimes it's like the plumber with the leaky pipe situation. So how do you practice what you preach?
That's a great question. I actually just the other night in the middle of the night while nursing was thinking I should start going to counseling again. So I started making a list of things that I need to talk about in counseling. So that was like kind of part of it. But I also try really hard to schedule myself in such a way that I can do like a workout class or that I, make sure I go on a walk or make sure that I communicate my boundaries and what I need, with my husband, just to be like, hey, I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
I need an evening to do some work and get some things done because I can't do it with a child during the day,
Yeah.
So like just communicating, I guess, what I need pretty often is probably my strongest thing that I do. And electrolyte water. Y'all don't sleep on the electrolyte water.
You told me about this. I need to.
I wish I had my electrolytes in this, but
I ordered some drops because I think when I was pregnant, I was like, I was craving Gatorade. I had not drinking Gatorade in years.
Yeah.
And you're like, get these drops. And I did.
Yeah.
But I need to order some more.
Yeah. I love the Trace Minerals drops.
Yes,
and I also love the LMNT electrolyte packets. Some things are good. Okay. And they're just good for you. They don't have like the fake sugar alcohols or anything like that in them. So they're really nice. Okay. And your body needs electrolytes. Yes. If you're a salty craving person, you probably need electrolytes.
Interesting.
So,
and if you are sweet craving, I'm just kidding.
You probably need some B vitamins.
Probably.
Yep. So yeah.
Fun facts.
Fun facts.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That one wasn't too bad.
Do you want me to get these out?
Oh yeah. Can unload.
You need one of those slider things like Connect 4 that they could just
that would be awesome.
Drop out.
There is. I don't exactly know why, but there is a battery pack. So I think I need to put batteries in and see what happens because when it hits, it'll like
light up or
do something.
Oh, that could be a new level.
Yeah.
Next big thing.
Shocking level of.
All right, do you want to do this?
Toucan Talks? Yeah.
It's so fun to drop it.
I like had some speed to it. All right.
I think when it hits this thing is when it shoots out at you.
Yeah, sometimes that, and then like right here on the
there's a little bump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta like. I don't know how you fix that. Anyways,
I think you just splurge for the
big one.
Like, let's see if this podcast works out, and then we'll invest. Okay, what advice would you give to a person either about to start a business or early on in their business ownership journey?
I think a couple of things is like, don't be too big for your britches.
Okay.
Like don't try to don't try to, rent the nice office and buy all the fancy equipment and like basically get a huge business loan to like, get all this stuff that you don't actually know is going to work yet. Yeah. Like start small, get the $20 board from Target and then upgrade it. But yeah.
I like this advice.
I would say that's probably like one of the biggest ones because for me that was a huge thing of learning how to kind of build foundationally, I guess, right? It's like you start small, you get the tiny office, it's just you, like don't rent a 12 office space office for just you and hope that you can fill it. Yeah. That's a dumb move on your part.
That's expensive.
That's an expensive mistake.
Yeah.
So don't do that kind of stuff. And then I would say be okay maybe with phases of your business. Kind of goes hand in hand, I guess, but learning how to be okay with saying, okay, years 1 through 3, it'll be a solo office with just me, through 5, I will expand to like a 2 or 3 person office after I've like already started sharing my office with another person, and kind of learn how to build in those phases.
Yeah.
And just ask a lot of questions, like sit down and meet with people who do things that you'll need to know how to do in your business that you don't know how to do. Yeah. Things like accounting. Yeah. If you're not an accountant, like meet with an accountant. Yeah. Learn what you've got to like do to organize your business. If you need help with, organization or scheduling, like meet with people who are good at those kinds of things. If you're a mental health person, meet with other practitioners who are in the field who know what they're doing and who know how to get you credentialed, or all the different pieces of the puzzle, because that's what I had to do. I had to just get coffee with so many people in the beginning. Yeah, so much.
Is the like mental health, not environment, business, Wilmington
world?
Yes, like Wilmington, is it pretty like you could call? Is it pretty like
friendly, I guess. Yeah. I know.
Collaborative, I guess, is a better word.
I would say that it definitely can be.
You have to find
you have to find the right person, and you have to ask in not a way that sounds like you're trying to steal someone's business.
Fair,
because that will get on my nerves real quick. Yeah. When I definitely have had people reach out and be like, "Hey, so I want to have a business just like yours. Would you mind telling me like what you did?"
Yeah.
And And I'm like, so you're asking me to give you my business plan?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, you know? But like, there's ways to go about meeting with people that's just like, hey, I'm interested in this industry.
Yeah.
Could you tell me your story? Could you help? And then, because then that gives you more information to gather information, you know what I mean? But I would say like Wilmington is friendly in that way. And a lot of our therapists are collaborative. But I will say something that's interesting is we have a lot of, I think maybe because of COVID, we have a lot of practitioners and associate licensed people who are not fully licensed yet, but they want to start out in private practice. Yeah. Whereas when I started out at an agency, doing community mental health work. And I would say a lot of people should go that route. It's not glamorous. Yeah. It is not pretty and not fun all the time. But you learn so much about how to help your clients in that. You learn a lot about documentation, about paperwork and all the things. Yeah. Whereas we have now, I think a trend is that a lot of young therapists are like coming out of college and wanting to just bypass the difficult and go straight into private practice realm, because they think like, oh, I can work less hours, get paid the same amount, which you can. But what's happening too is that we have a lot of telehealth providers coming out because they don't have enough money to get an office or, whatever. And so it's interesting because you have all these people who are new and fresh in the field that if they would just go work for like an agency or something like that, they would probably learn a lot more and learn how to do and set up a lot of things for themselves without having to bypass
like the hands-on.
Yeah. You gotta be hands-on with some of that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty collaborative in terms of sending referrals and, that kind of thing. Yeah. But as far as like, I guess building each other's businesses, I do business consulting with stuff like that. So if somebody wants that information from me, I'm happy to give it to you. Yeah. But you're going to pay me for my time.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you've had
done it long enough.
Yes. Yeah. It's valuable information. And that's consulting's a real career.
It's a real thing.
Career. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's fun. Fun to like help people grow and learn, but also like, don't just try to come in hot and take my business. Ooh, a 2.
Dun, dun, dun. Break this mic. Oh, a fan favorite. What's your favorite thing that comes out of a can?
Coconut milk.
Amen.
I love making like curry and stuff like that. So or coconut rice.
Yeah.
I love making coconut rice.
Coconut rice is so much better than plain rice.
And it's a good healthy fat for you. Yeah. So like get that coconut milk, y'all. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. What else comes in a can? Beans. I like beans.
LaCroix has been a popular answer.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Drinks. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Drinks. Yeah, come from a can.
Yes, I know. I feel like brain goes immediately to like canned vegetables or like those sorts of cans, but it's any can you want could be an option.
What are things that are not food or drink that come in a can?
Joshua? Oh, paint?
Paint can. There you go. Can
Barrel of Monkeys, like that game. That's totally not a can, but that is what popped in my head. That's not real.
Paint can. Gasoline can? Is that a thing? No.
Yeah, maybe.
Paint thinner. Oil.
My favorite's paint thinner.
Just love the way it smells.
Yes. And now I'm getting referrals to Madewell. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we've had any non like food or drink related answers, have we?
No, just liquid like drinks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, if you need anything Googled, you can always ask Joshua. He is here. He's not hidden. Business.
All the biz.
Straight.
Getting in my biz.
It's all about your
It's funny to try to read these backwards.
Yeah,
I just want to say that.
See?
Because it says like what did or how did, and I read that as how bib.
Well, the question was like, how did Madewell begin and what services did you start with? But we've sort of already talked about that. So I was going to try to figure out how to expand upon that.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically, again, that was kind of like just the starting small, I guess, and, trying to learn what worked and what didn't work. Yeah. And so yoga classes, workshops, and then the mental health, like one-on-ones. And then I guess like as we've grown, that's where we've added in health coaches and we've added in, our gut health specialists and things like that. Yeah. So, definitely the mental health counseling piece though was like the biggest in the beginning that actually made me money. Yeah. Because I was able to build insurance and things like that. So I was able to get paid through that. Yeah. So it definitely helped not having to, like, I didn't have to find a whole clientele of self-pay people who could pay, $150 for a session. Like I was able to bill insurance and get reimbursed through that. So it was still felt approachable for people. And affordable, Yeah, but,
that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then y'all, because you had the first location down the street and then you've moved twice in the building or the same?
Well, yeah. So we had our first office on Shipyard. Yeah. Then we moved over to Park Avenue, which is where we're at now, but we were in a different building.
That's right.
So it's like the same complex. But we moved the building we were in. We only had half of the second floor, and then we moved over, and now we're at the whole second floor. So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people would probably walk into Madewell and be like, "Wow, like you must just be so good at business." Da, da, da. I mean, like I am, but it took me a while to get here.
Yeah, it's grown.
It's grown for sure.
Which is great.
And it's great that it's grown fast. Yeah, I think part of growing is also recognizing opportunity for growth and kind of not being afraid of that. I think too often people will take a back seat to their growth because they look at something like a new office space and they think, oh my gosh, that's so much more money in rent and blah, blah, blah. And they might try to wait on more people in their current office. Yeah. But then it just becomes hectic. It becomes chaotic. Like you're not able to actually get things done the way you want. So you have to, at some level, take a leap of faith and say, okay, here's what I know I need to grow. Here's how many people I know I need to grow, yada, yada. And let's move over here. We can sustain it with where we're at now. But to make it truly sustainable, we'll need these more, many more people or whatever. So, And then it's just been cool to grow and add in like the gut health practitioner and health coaches and things like that too. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
The wholeness.
Yeah,
you got it all.
Gotta bring it all in together because we can't heal just one piece. No. I think something that's interesting as a therapist is we kind of become educators of a lot of different things. Yeah. Like I can't tell you how many people I've had to work with budgeting on, or things like that. That's like not really mental health, but also it affects your mental health. Yeah, if you're someone who's going to be chronically financially stressed, it's like, well, hold on. Let's talk about it. Let's learn what are these barriers? How do you budget? All those kinds of things. And so the more I've done that kind of stuff with people, the more I've seen, wow, we really do need to integrate like mental health and wellness. And then things like our gut health practitioner. I mean, your gut health is so related to your mental health. It's crazy. Wild. And people don't know. And people still don't want to recognize that. That's kind of what I mean too with like primary care providers just prescribing medication off the jump. It's like, okay, well, hold on. Did you even assess what do they eat for a day? Yeah. I had, if you're this client listening, just think that it's not you. But I had this one client one time.
Everyone now is going to be like,
who is it? Is it me? But I did have a client one time that I had her do like a little journal, right?
Yeah.
Like a tracking of your mood, food. Yeah. So it kind of connects everything. It's on our website, actually, on madewellcenter.org. Cool. Under the like resources.
Yeah.
But yeah, you track like time of day, the mood that you're in, external factors, foods that you've just eaten or haven't eaten or whatever. How much water have you had? All kinds of stuff. And it was so interesting because she tracked it for just like 5 days. Yeah. And I was like
light bulbs.
I was like, girl, when was the last time you ate a vegetable? Like when?
Yeah. Because
all I saw on her thing was Taco Bell,
Amen.
Chick-fil-A, some sort of cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, seriously, when was the last time you've ate a vegetable?
Yeah.
And she legitimately couldn't tell me. And I was like, I think this could be part of why you're anxious.
Yeah.
Like, your body needs like your body is like very lacking nutrients right now. And you need that to be able to thrive. And so it was something she didn't even really recognize, you know? So it's cool to see Madewell grow and have all these different practitioners that can really address these different things, you know, and have health coaches who can walk alongside you in that stuff so that, okay, they're walking alongside you in the health realm of like foundations that you need. And also therapists can now walk alongside you in like the deep things, you know, let's process that trauma. Let's process your relationship, and you're working on these things. So now we're building your capacity for healing so much more.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that is cool. We, on a much lighter note, we ate corn dogs from Cookout recently.
Oh, I used to love them things.
Terrible. Like, it was delicious.
But
we both, like, because we do eat pretty, like, clean. Felt terrible the next day.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. It's like, what is even in it?
I don't know.
I don't have a clue. I used to love a corn dog.
So good. But I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, not
a good choice.
Experience.
No, it's not. It's probably not worth it.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't think I've put one down this little.
Okay, we'll see.
Toucan Talks bubble. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was like the same one. I thought they were just going to keep on.
Sometimes, every now and again, they will all stack up on like the same number. Okay. How do you feel like you having some like multiple passions, but I feel like, you know, at least generally in the wellness realm, how has that benefited like your business as a whole?
Just so how has having multiple passions in wellness just benefited my business?
Yeah.
Well, I think when you have multiple passions, you're able to learn about a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're very passionate about a lot of different things, you're going to listen to a lot of books, read a lot of articles, listen to podcasts, you know, all kinds of stuff to get more information. Yeah. And so I just think the more information you get, the more you know, and then the more you know, the more you're able to implement things, you know, you know? So I think that's been just how it's benefited, is just my desire to learn and have, just so much information has really helped me say, wow, we really do need a gut health practitioner, because these people that we've been dealing with their trauma for however long aren't getting as well as we would like for them to get. Yeah. So maybe we should help with this other capacity, you know, because it's just interesting how many different things connect. I mean, I've had our gut health practitioner connect things back to a person's trauma and be like, this is when it started, right? So it's very interesting, that kind of stuff. And so, I think just being multi-passionate allows you to learn so much that then you can implement the things you learn and you can grow and you can, you know, do new trainings for your clinicians, or you can teach them things in your team meeting, or, you know, just different things like that.
Do you feel like, since you have all those services like under essentially one roof, like it's easier for your clients to be like, okay, like, yes, I'll take that step towards that, versus like, even if you had to refer it out, like,
sure.
And maybe this is just me being lazy sometimes, but I'm like, okay, sweet. Yeah, I trust you. I'm already here. Let's do it. Versus like, oh, I got to go start a new relationship, a new, like, do you feel like that helps people? Like, maybe like the barrier to entry, or like the acceptance of it, versus like, since it's all there.
Yeah. I do think some people for sure benefit from that, because some people, like you said, are kind of either anxious or they're just like, I don't want to have to go do that or whatever. And so it definitely helps for us to be able to, you know, be sitting in a session and be like, well, I see Carrie has availability next week. You want me to go ahead and schedule you with her?
Yeah.
Cool. And then, if they're under one roof and they're nervous about having to divulge all the things again or something along those lines, you can always say, well, hey, would it be all right if I shared this information with her?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I'll give her the rundown of what you're dealing with. And then when y'all get together, you can get down to some of the nitty gritty. Right. So I definitely think it helps in that regard. But also, I think some people are just not going to follow through, even if you recommended it to them every day of the week for the next 365, days kind of thing.
They're just not ready.
Or they just don't want to. Or I think some people, well, maybe this is a spicy opinion.
Ooh, bringing it back.
But I think some people like to live in their diagnosis. Yeah. And I think some people like to, some people just like, they don't know how to live otherwise, right? Because they've lived in that label or that diagnosis for so long that they're kind of like, well, what would life be like if I didn't have that, or if I healed from this thing? And people are afraid to dream of better. They truly are. Yeah. It's sad. Yeah. But it's true, and so sometimes we just have to like walk alongside them till they're ready. Yeah. But I think that's probably kind of a spicy opinion too, is people just like to be labeled something. Yeah. Like we all want to fit in and belong.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. But also we can heal.
There can be something better.
There might be something better than this.
You never know. Yeah, I know. And I was thinking, this not, well, whatever, of a certain situation person. And I was like, I wonder if like the thought of like, because it is work, like it's hard. Like if just the thought of the work that it would take to get there is like, it's easier just to sit in this.
Let me inform you of my chaos bubble theory.
What I'm saying might be true.
Chaos bubble theory. Okay.
Oh wait, hang on. Is this like a theory you've created?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I think. Here's what I've learned about myself. Yes, here's what I've learned about myself is I have a lot of theories, and then somebody was either rich enough or smart enough to do like a study or something, and then they put language to it, and I'm like, dadgummit, I had that. I knew that. I should have done that. Yep. So this is my chaos bubble theory. Okay. If you're rich and can do studies out there, don't steal it. Invite me into the process. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
We're gonna pretend trademark it real quick.
So chaos bubble, right? On the one hand, you've got things like depression, anxiety, lack of identity, trauma, whatever your chaos is, right? This is your chaos bubble, okay? Over here, you've got your bubble of things like freedom, joy, love, excitement, adventure, healthy relationships, health in general, whatever that is, right? In between, we have this chasm, okay? Now, our brain's job is to protect us, right? So if you've gotten used to this chaos over here, at some level, your brain knows how to deal with that. Because even though it's chaotic by like definition, your brain is used to it, and your brain says, well, when someone comes home drunk, we know how to deal with that, right? So we'll just like keep letting that person do their thing. We'll be, offended by it or whatever, and we'll just deal and move on, right? Okay. But over here, things like love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, fruits of the spirit. Hello. Your brain may not know how to deal with those things, right? So your brain says, that's kind of scary to go from here to here. Like, I don't want to jump. I don't want to cross this chasm, right? To get to this bubble. And so your brain inherently will protect you and try to keep you here because it understands it more. Yeah. And so we have to learn how to like build the bridge, right? To get to this chasm over, or this bubble over here. So that, and we have to speak to our brain so that we can teach and retrain our brain that, hey, like these things are good and they may be scary because we've never experienced them before, but they're good and we need them, So that's kind of like, I always love to explain that to clients, because truly I think that's what a lot of people do is we stay in our chaos bubble because we look at the divide might seem so big, versus realizing that we can kind of bring the divide a little closer together than we think. Yeah. Just by teaching our brain some new tricks and skills. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I like it. Trademark that one day. Chaos I don't know theory. If you trademark theories in the mental health world, but if you can.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right.
Whoa. That one did like a loop up.
It's like, here we go. All right. Let's see. We'll do this one and then we can hit our closing questions. Okay. Ooh, okay. What is something about your industry that has surprised you lately?
That has surprised me. I think it has been surprising to see that I think a lot of people are starting to lean into the proactive medicine kind of realm of life.
Yeah.
So that's been a little surprising, just because we have so much going against us with red tape of insurance and all that kind of stuff. I think another surprising thing has been how many therapists feel the need to like get on TikTok, and I'm like, do you really need that? Like, do you really got to get on TikTok?
I don't know.
Just to, like, boost your biz? I don't think so, but you know, maybe so. People got to do it. I don't know. But yeah, I would say it's been a little surprising how it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I'm also still surprised by it.
Yeah.
But I still think we have a long, long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's coming around. I think people are starting to see the value of preventative medicine.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, you know, we can all kind of hop on the train
there.
Yeah.
Overall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that is cool. I feel like that's a good surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. It is good.
Awesome.
I'm sure there's some bad ones out there that I'm not thinking about right now, but
That's okay.
I'm trying to live.
We don't need them.
I'm trying to live in this bubble over here. You know,
live in that good
just
bubble.
trying to live in that bubble.
Cool. Well, what can people expect from you next, and/or Madewell, and/or Wellness Buff, all the above,
All the multi-passionate
yes,
things.
all the things.
I would say from Madewell Center, just like a couple little things is we are bringing on another clinician in August. Her name's Stephanie Tucker, so that's exciting. She can see kids, so that's just like a cool
nice.
thing. And then our health coaches and gut health practitioners are just building up their practice a little bit more, which is cool. And then Wellness Buff, you can see some really cool healing intensives coming out.
Nice.
So people are like, what is that?
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you. The healing intensives are really designed for people who kind of want to take a month and a half to 2 months of therapy and compress it into a day.
Okay.
Because I recently had a experience with a business coach where I got to do that. I got to do a day of like diving in, talking about barriers, goals, like really sifting through the weeds of everything. And I walked away feeling so good.
Yeah.
I was like, whew.
Yeah.
I almost felt like I just dumped out all of my junk, and I got to like sort through it and organize it and put it in some piles, right? So the healing intensives are kind of designed to be that way. They're for individuals or couples, and you can basically compress, like I said, 2 months of therapy into a day.
Nice.
And we can do some deep dives. We can do some baseline testing maybe on you if you're an individual, and like really talk through some of that. And then if you're a couple, it's really designed for couples who want to connect more and maybe have some time of groundedness and learning some practical communication skills and then practicing them in office. Because I think the interesting thing about therapy is a lot of times people will do a therapy session, get their skill, get their homework, whatever, and then it kind of gets like lost on them, right? And so I think doing the healing intensives will be a really cool way to allow people to practice it in session and really feel what that's like to then be like, oh, okay, I really can do this at home, or I really can apply this when I get home type of thing. So so the healing intensives are going to be a fun addition, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. What is the best way people can get in touch with you?
If you are looking for counseling or health coaching, anything like that, definitely reach out to Madewell Center, www.madewellcenter.org, or you can email info@madewellcenter.org. And then if you're interested in a healing intensive, the women's retreat coming up this fall, they can email hello@wellnessbuff.org.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us and
of course.
playing our little game and sharing all your good info.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. I feel like we're good.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on.
You can y'all are obviously watching this on YouTube, so you can subscribe if you want. If not, no big deal, but you should. And then we'll put links and everything to the website in the show notes, so those are easy for people to access. But yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to catch up.
Yeah, good to hang. Thanks.
Yeah.